Good evening, everybody, and welcome to WhiskyMania II, hosted by New.WHISKyorder. We're all here tonight going to enjoy some fantastic whiskeys. Just like the original WhiskyMania, we're going to be doing a couple of matches, and some champions will be crowned. So, moving on into things here, I'm going to go ahead share my screen. Everybody should be seeing that.
Yep.
Good stuff. So let's get into it. I am joined tonight by our two guest referees here. We got Adam Brudner and Tim MacKenzie. Say hello, gentlemen.
Hey.
What's up, brothers and sisters? Are you ready for WhiskyMania?
Oh yeah.
That's for you, Russ. You
That
guys
was
ready for this
exceptional.
one? Boom.
That was beautiful.
Adam, how you gonna follow that up, buddy?
I'm not even gonna try. Yeah, can't be done.
He's been asking since he came up with the WhiskyMania. He's been asking for the t-shirt rip. So that's your present. Happy 2023 into 2024, Russell. Love you, buddy.
It just made my year. All right, so moving on into the event. We've got two matches tonight. We've got the lightweight match where we've got a Clynelish going up against a Dallas Dhu. And then following that, we'll have the heavyweight championship match featuring a couple very heavy hitters. One from Clynelish following up the championship from WhiskyMania I, being challenged by just some random Springbank from 1969. No big deal. So let's get into it here.
Myke, was the Clynelish the winner from the last one, or is this a different one?
This is a slightly different one.
Okay.
But from all indications, it's a pretty similar experience. So
Got it.
And if any of you joined us for the original WhiskyMania, you'll remember just how damn good that Clynelish was. So it's got some big shoes to fill. So pretty exciting stuff. So as always, we're here for the whiskey. So we're just going to get right into it here. We've got our lightweight championship coming up here. I'm going to turn it over to Adam and Tim to take this on. And let's get ready to rumble. Take it away, boys.
Thank you so much, Myke. I think are we starting with the leash on this one, or the Dallas Dhu? Okay, beautiful. Adam, you got any words on the nose for this one?
Yeah. Firstly, the thing to know about Dallas Dhu is that so it's a closed distillery, closed in 1983. It's currently sitting mothballed, so it's standing but not operating, as a museum, and it's in perfect working order. They could switch the stills on or light the stills up tomorrow, and they'd work perfectly. But they're not, because it's a historic building that's operated by the government. Which means that if we wanted to pool our money together and make the government of Scotland an offer, and wanted a distillery today, this would be a good target. So maybe we'll see how we like this one. This is my first Dallas Dhu. Tim, have you had a Dallas Dhu before?
I think I've only had one or two previously, and I was just blown away by the delicate nature of the spirit. So I definitely I think didn't we have a tasting in the last year that had a Dallas Dhu, or was it a rose? I think it was an old rose Dhu. I'm mixing them up, but yeah, I mean, this is wild. A year before closure, 21 years old, 43%. I get a really like clean linen note immediately on the nose. Wood spices, but very, very delicate and a
Mhm.
sweet maltiness to it as well.
I got a really strong sweetness first thing off the nose. I got like a little bit of fruit, almost a pineapple or a pear, very, very sweet and kind of syrupy sitting on top. And I'm also getting sort of like a pine needle kind of peppery sort of note.
I agree with you
Totally.
100% on that pininess. There's a quality there. It's like if you've ever gotten, like, I used to climb trees quite a bit when I was younger. I remember, like, if you'd get sap on your finger and catch a whiff of it later on, and there's definitely that like oily, sappy kind of note, not at the forefront of the nose. It's more
Mhm.
kind of at the back of the nose.
Yeah, fine somehow. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Adam Farr says lemon pledge. I would counter with pine sol, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's got that citrusy, slightly, it's solventy. It's got like almost a fresh, like a green wood note to me, but not in the way that I usually get a green wood note, like from a very young single malt, where it's like acrid or something. I don't get that here. It's just very fresh and kind of like herbaceous.
There's almost I don't know if any of you guys have done that, or guys and girls have done this before, but you like take a very small twig of a birch tree and strip a little bit of the bark away. There's a little bit of it's almost like you said, like an acidity that is there. I wouldn't quite say like a birch beer note, but the way that a young twig would smell if you just took that outer bark off of it reminds me of that. Lemon sugar candies too. That's a great.
Mhm. Should we take a sip of this first, or should we check out the Clynelish?
I don't know. What do you think, Myke?
I think we
mean,
should-
go ahead. Your nose is in that glass. It'd be a shame not to sip it.
There's my
True.
man,
Very true. All right, Sanche, everybody.
Sanj. So delicate.
Mm.
I definitely get like almost like a green pear, like a not quite yet ripe.
Yeah. Yeah, it starts to me. Yeah, it's got the pear. It's sort of lean, but there's like a honey note in there.
Yep.
There's almost like a white chocolate kind of a creaminess to it.
Absolutely get that too.
But then to me, it turns very very herbal. You get that pine coming back, some pepper. I took some notes on this earlier, and I came up with rye bread.
Yeah. Good call. There's almost like a sourdough, like an uncooked sourdough note
Mhm.
coming through a little bit.
Yeah, like raw flour almost.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And the nose is so much brighter now that I've had a taste of it.
Yeah, this is a weird, like, so much of the sweetness from the nose kind of goes away as the whiskey develops. Very interesting.
Yeah. Not the longest finish, but
No,
there's like an oaky spice that is sitting on like the edges of the back of my tongue still.
yeah, it's got it feels very like mossy and earthy to
Yeah.
me. There's like strong green tea maybe.
I was gonna say like an herbal tea earlier, but green tea
Yeah.
makes more sense.
There you go.
And a floral quality once again in the chat. Absolutely agree.
Mm-hmm.
It's got like a daisy type of a situation.
I'm just making sure that's not scrolling properly here.
It's almost like refreshing, like if you were really thirsty, like
I had the same word going through my head, refreshing somehow. That's
there's
crazy.
like there's a brightness to it when it hits your tongue. It's interesting. Like,
yeah,
not
that's
necessarily
cool.
mouth watering, but it's definitely leaving me wanting more. Like, I wish I had a massive measure of this that I could sit with I should say too, I've had all of these whiskeys sitting out for about an hour. So
Okay.
they've definitely got a bit of air.
I've had these ones going for maybe 20 minutes.
Okay.
And I'm gonna pour the second Clynelish now, actually. I can do that now. Getting a little ahead
Adam
of
Parks
ourselves.
has like a tasty mouthwash.
Anybody want to try that Dallas Dhu with a drop of water? See what happens?
Oh yeah, good call. I'm ready for that.
I know that's usually my job.
Yeah, for sure. No, thanks for keeping us on task here too, Myke, and being such a trooper since you can't enjoy them with us.
Damn
Well,
shame.
as much as I enjoy the whiskey, I actually like most of you. So
Oh shucks. It actually brought the fruitiness more to the forefront of the nose.
interesting.
Like now
I
I'm
don't have
getting
any of my water gear with me.
a lot more
Like that.
pear, a lot more like that sweet dough. I think I like the nose more with a little bit of water. I just did 3 drops in a very small measure.
Yeah.
But
I'm getting like an orange peel kind of note now.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
It's a deeper citrus than that initial lemon.
It is sweeter, you're right.
Almost like a mandarin orange. Wow, that's fantastic. But
Yeah, honestly, this one sounds like it's absolutely up my alley.
It's trash.
You would like it.
Trash juice.
Yeah, I've got my box. It's ready to go as soon as my throat's back.
Ooh, I really like what the water does to the palate. There's a darker chocolate note now for me that carries through a little smoother. It's not as harsh of a transition when you first take a sip and it's sweet and then it turns very, very oaky and dry. Now it seems like it's more smoothed out, not in a way that takes away from the complexity, but just in a more kind of a smoother, if I can use that word, experience, which I really like.
Got like almost like a wood polish kind of. It's nice. I would definitely do that again.
I like this one. Yeah. All right,
That
before we
sounds
finish
pretty
the glass,
delightful. So everybody keep those notes in mind, keep that experience in mind, and let's get into the Clynelish.
Yeah.
So solid Signatory vintage representation in the tasting tonight,
very solid. Oh yeah.
which is always good.
They bottle
So
it
this one is the youngest whiskey in our lineup tonight at 15 years old. Distilled 1983, bottled 98. And Signatory Vintage, always super helpful with their oak cask.
Very descriptive. Thanks, guys.
Usually that means ex-bourbon, but you never know.
I think we're going to see an exception to that later tonight. Sorry for the spoilers.
Spoiler alert.
Wow. Yeah, then Dustin, you're 1,000,000% right. A lot more kick to the nose. I
was pouring Springbank and got it all over my fingers, which is usually a good thing. No. But when I'm trying to smell a Clynelish,
oh no. Yeah, I get the waxy, like paraffin.
Yeah.
There's a like honeycomb kind of a quality.
Yeah, this is way previous to the work that they did on their stills, so the waxiness should be very much apparent on this whiskey.
Yeah, it's prominent for sure. I'm getting some really wild stone fruit notes too when you dip into the really stick the schnozzle in there.
Oh yeah.
At 43%, no stinging, you can really take a nice whiff.
Yeah, there you go, right?
I'm getting like peach nectarines.
Yeah, plums, very floral. Yeah, I agree. I'm getting almost a raisin sort of note from this.
There's a lily quality specifically on the floral note for me,
Mm.
like lily of the valley.
Tim, you mentioned clean laundry on the last one. I'm getting clean laundry on this
I hear that too. That's not surprising, I think, with these old school distillates.
That's definitely one of those old school notes that people talk about. I think. Like I'm not sure I've had a modern whiskey with that kind of a linen note to it. Maybe a linkwood. Now that I
Yeah,
think of
I
it.
could see that for sure. I get it with
There's almost
sometimes with
yeah,
grains
sorry, yeah.
too.
I was gonna say there's almost sort of a spearmint note on the nose that I'm getting here.
Definitely fresh.
Now, I'm
Tarzy's
far
already
more into
drinking it.
the
Attaboy.
All right, we that means we got to go for it. Cheers.
Cheers, everybody.
Thicker texture than the Dallas Dhu, I think.
For sure. Quite a bit more oiliness, more mouth coating,
Mm-hmm.
a much longer development also of the
Yeah, not as drastic a development, I think, though,
totally.
as the Dallas Dhu. This one kind of stays very kind of.
Russell says from
Couldn't
the top
describe it any better than that.
with the
Yeah.
waxy floral. There is a grapiness to it though too.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, EVD had a grape note on there.
Yeah. I for
Yeah, I
sure.
thought that. Yeah, I definitely agree.
Once again, too, I always find with these whiskeys that the older distillates that once you've had a taste, the nose is just like it's an amplification scenario.
There's a cereal malt note coming out now on the
Absolutely.
nose. Even I just got a little bit of peat smoke, and I don't think it's the Springbank I spilled on my hands.
I was just gonna say the same thing, like a little waft, and not Isla-y at all. It's more like a central belt type of a peatiness. More on the smoky than on like the earthy or medicinal side.
Yeah.
That's, man, I don't know.
Does anybody know when Clynelish went away from direct fire on their stills?
I wish I had thought ahead to have pulled that out, but I did not. I can tell you unequivocally, though, that is a fantastic dram.
So Brora switched to steam heated stills all the way back in 1961.
Wow.
Okay.
So for the entirety of Clynelish's existence, Brora has had steam stills. I wouldn't be surprised if they installed steam jacket stills when they built Clynelish, because Brora already had them.
Yeah, that's a good point. Dustin said a bit of ginger.
Ginger, nice.
I could see that.
Ginger, I'm not getting as much of the heat from the ginger, but there's the flavor, like a ginger chews kind of flavor.
Yep.
The finish, it's so weird. The finish to this is milder, but somehow has more staying power than the Dallas Dhu, I feel.
I think it's the oiliness of the whiskey. The legs are definitely a bit longer to develop than that Dallas Dhu.
Yeah, AVD in the chat was saying much longer finish than the Dallas Dhu.
I did just chuck some water into this, and the nose is just exploding. So much more fruitiness, almost like dried fruit, like dried apricots. I want to say pomegranate. I'm not even sure. I'm not sure that that's the like very not like a pomegranate seed, but maybe like a pomegranate tea.
Wow, I've never had pomegranate tea. Wow, you're absolutely right though. It just completely blossoms with the water added. If you guys haven't tried water yet, I would recommend it.
This is a great nose. I mean,
Oh yeah.
I think I know where I'm at on my vote.
Well, funny you should bring up the vote because got a little something here.
There we go.
Oh, this has them on the same vote.
Oh yeah.
Oh, does it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I may have messed that up. Hold on.
Watch yourself there, brother.
Let's see if I can figure out how to edit those polls.
Hold your horses, Dramster maniacs.
Listening at all of you, I think I'm alone on my team. I really, really enjoyed the Dallas Dhu, even though if it's quite delicate.
It's really good.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think there's a bad whiskey here. Sorry, go ahead.
It's something that I've never tried before, and I'm not referring to Dallas Dhu, but to something that is that having that much refinement, if I may say. It's subtle, and at the same time, it has a lot to offer. That's weird.
Yeah,
that's great. Here it is.
I wish I had left some of the Dallas Dhu to have tasted it after the Clynelish. I definitely messed that up.
Oh yeah, I've got them here. It definitely feels, it's more tannic. The finish has a pepperiness to it that just isn't there on the Clynelish. The nose has this mineral quality, which I really like.
A Clynelish with a chair from under the ring. Well, the results are rolling in.
I mean,
get your votes in, folks.
It's definitely the Clynelish is a chair from under the ring. It's a wallop for sure in comparison.
Well, we'll give it another about 10 seconds or so for everybody to get their votes in.
Man, I'm struggling now.
All right.
There we go.
Not shocking. Not shocking.
Any other questions?
I don't know if my answer made it. I was struggling, but I'll chuck it in with the Dallas Dhu just to give it a little bit more of some more juice.
I think this
enough. But I think we've got a champion crown for the lightweight match. Congratulations to Clynelish. Moving on to the main event. The heavyweight champion of the world. Clynelish again. I know nobody's tired of it. And of course, a little Springbank. So let's get right into this. First off, let me just say how dope that bottle looks.
Oh yeah.
Those SMWS labels are looking pretty sweet these days.
It's classy. Classy Teddy Blassie, you could say.
Absolutely. Absolutely. It's Ted DiBiase right there.
Russell's loving all these references.
Oh, for sure.
I could just see him giggling.
So moving on from one Clynelish to the other, kicking things up a little bit in terms of the age and the ABV. So we've got a 1992 Clynelish from the Scotch Malt Whisky Society, Ambrosial Nectar, as they call this one. Distilled 1992, bottled 2022 at a ripe old age of 30 years old. Tim, Adam, what do you got for me, man?
What can you say? 92 Clynelish at 30 years and still packing a bit of a punch too.
This is I haven't pre-nosed this one. I had pre-nosed all the other ones. This is my first time with this one. I'm getting wax here. I'm getting not so much honeycomb as the last one, but more on the paraffin side.
I'll totally agree with that. I also get a marble rye.
Oh, good one.
There's
There's a dryness to it.
There's a little bit of a spice bay in there that's coming up. Woo. You could even Ric Flair it and say, woo!
Well, if anything's worth a woo, it's going to be this heavyweight match.
Seriously, mother of mercy. The nose on this is just rock star.
Yeah, rich. It's a bruiser. The other one was, mellow and lovely. Rich but mellow. This is just full force flavor.
Andre the Giant, like you could even say.
Absolutely.
Should we drop into this? This is a second fill bourbon, which is bonkers to me too.
Wow.
Oh, Russell says a leg drop of waxiness. All right.
Let's dive in.
Cheers.
Here.
Oh.
Wow. Wow.
Hmm.
The tropical fruit basket. I just got frog splashed by that fruit basket.
Now what?
Frog splash.
Frog splash.
Yeah.
Never heard that one before. But I like it.
That's some 90s wrestling references.
I see. Before my time.
It might, yeah, a touch. Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, the fruit, it's rich. It's not that sweet, I feel like.
Yeah.
It's it's so balanced, so refined. It's got it feels like everybody, the cask pickers at SMWS have gone over it with a fine-tooth comb and worked out every little detail, so it's just so perfect.
The call out of Ambrosial Nectar is interesting to me because my grandma used to make ambrosia, which is, I think it's sour cream, mandarin oranges, marshmallows, and coconut shavings. And
Okay.
I'm getting coconut shavings that
Totally.
little bit of acidity, but the sweetness also. And marshmallow, if you've ever had ambrosia, the marshmallow gets kind of soaked with all of the fruitiness, and it becomes something not quite marshmallow, but very, very sweet. And I get that on the palate too.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, David said exotic fruitiness from Redbreast 21s. I'm right there with you.
Redbreast Dream Cask, the original one, is my favorite whiskey I've ever tried. And yeah, there's a brightness to the fruit and an effervescence, as Russ says, that reminds me of that. Now that you mentioned it, I wasn't thinking it before, but yeah, it even has that kind of nutty, malty undercurrent that Redbreast has. That's an interesting comparison. I really like that.
Yeah, great call out. My God, what a dram this is.
Mm. Yeah, no problems with a delicate mouthfeel or short finish on this one. This is sticking around.
This is Hacksaw Jim Duggan's 2x4.
Oh yeah. Of all the humanity.
Hey!
I was worried that I was going to be channeling that a little bit, with the kit. But
Dude,
then
you
I
could
was
be.
like, this is what I'm gonna do for Halloween next year. I have my costume ready to rock. My dad's a carpenter. I got 2x4s like you would not even believe.
There you go. That's all you need.
I don't want to stop drinking this whiskey,
No, me neither.
but I'm going to because I'm gonna be strong and leave some for after, so I can go back to it with the Springer in mind. Actually, I have a little remaining water in my other glass. I want to see what the water does to it.
Saw Tim MacKenzie.
Whew.
Yeah, I'll try a little water in it as well. Clynelish really likes water.
Typically, yeah.
It's a good swimmer.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I'm sold on water with this one.
No, me neither. Wow.
Yeah, I'm kind of glad that I left a bit without it.
Wow. Take a sip and it just falls apart with the water. Don't
Yeah.
add water if you're about to.
Yeah, it like the waxiness is a hammer fist, you could say, to the rest of the palate with water.
Yeah,
Face into the turnbuckle, if you will.
Yep. It's a full turnbuckle smash.
Well, just don't eat the turnbuckle, George the Animal Steel. All right. Well, I think a moment ago somebody may have mentioned. What was it? Spring something? Spring.
Springbank.
Springbank.
Springbuck.
Springbok. If you like those South African rugby players.
Absolutely.
So right now we're going to go downtown to Campbelltown and get into a 1969 Springbank from Signatory Vintage. 26 years old, sherry cask. You know, your standard Tuesday night whiskey.
Yep. Super mellow.
Yeah.
Somebody tell me what this smells like, please.
I was trying to do some research on, what Springbank was doing differently in 1969, and nothing. They were doing exactly what they do now, because this is what Springbank does. Yeah, it's exactly the same as how they make it now, as far as I'm aware. This is, Springbank is that kind of distillery.
Love it.
Wow, the nose on this whiskey. Oh my goodness, so many layers.
Yeah.
The first two things when I noticed this earlier that struck me were black pepper and tropical fruit, dirty tropical fruit. I got like guava, pineapple, all sorts of citrus.
I'll say grilled pineapple.
There you go.
Sunrise papaya.
There, ooh. Yeah, it's got a papaya for sure.
I also get an orange marmalade.
Yeah, I've got citrus peel written down in mine.
There's almost like a light coffee note at the back.
Yeah, there's a nutty. I have I got sesame seeds written down, which I always get from Springbank. Always has like a toasted sesame oil kind of vibe. This one is even like smoked almonds. I forget what that brand is. It makes those like barbecue almonds or whatever it is.
Blue Diamond.
Blue Diamond, that's the one. Those are really good.
Oh yeah.
There's almost like a barbecue, like a sweet, like a Memphis barbecue note.
Brazilian barbecue when they do the barbecued pineapple to finish it with like cinnamon and brown sugar.
Yep. Yeah, that'll do it.
The old churrascaria.
I know it might be difficult to, we're coming right from Clynelish, but I'm getting wax on this one as well.
Yeah.
I'm getting like an industrial, oily kind of paraffin wax.
I'm gonna take it to something that I'm very familiar with. It reminds me of ski and snowboard wax.
Oh, there you go.
A little bit of sweetness to it usually, which is toxic typically in the snowboard
Oh,
world.
all the toxic things taste delicious. That's why
The
people eat
better
red
it
paint,
smells, the worse it is for you. That is the truth.
right? Mhm.
But this one, mother of mercy. There's just so much going on. It's layers and layers and layers. Roller coaster.
Yeah, this is
That toasted sesame, like if you take a really deep nose, that's where I get it.
there's a heat to this that's almost wasabi like. I don't really like. It seems weird, but
Wow. Do we dare to taste this, Adam?
I think we have to. I think we
I
have
think we should, just for science, obviously.
to.
All right, everybody, Sancha.
Plancha to 2023.
Gonna end the year. You might as well do it with a 69 Springer.
Holy. What?
Barzy, you're a goddamn legend.
Yeah. Woo.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, that's got all sorts of stuff. I'm getting like citronella, like candles, coconut. There's a honey character. I have grilled seafood written down. I don't know where that's coming from.
It's the coastal effect of the maturation.
That's gotta be it.
After not feeling romantic connections yet, Mark is on his way to meet someone new.
There's a brown sugar quality.
Mhm. Absolutely.
Ready?
Russell says it's got the tussin.
Oh man. I feel like I should be saying more, but I'm like speechless at this.
I mean, I think anyone who's tasting this can understand why, Adam.
Products, snakes and spirals. Berries and crystals. She doesn't like different foods touch. All about it.
Is this AI tasting notes that we're hearing?
Wonderful.
There's definitely I get almost like a cashew.
Oh yeah, wow, good shout.
Here, because I've got you. Things as well.
I think we have somebody's AI tasting notes coming through here.
Nope.
It's a great idea, AI tasting notes. I'd put myself out of a job.
There's so much going on all over, like the different regions of my tongue. I feel like I'm having trouble differentiating. There's a savory quality that is somewhere, it's deep within the flavors, but overall there's that pepperiness is there for sure. Like it's just right around the edges of my tongue, hanging out. Soy sauce, Adam says. I think I'm with you there. It's not like a typical, like a mushroomy type of a savory quality. It's a sharper tone, but it just won't quit. Can't stop, won't stop with this Springer. It's almost like
long
an
and
onslaught from the Ultimate Warrior.
Nice.
Yes, Worcestershire sauce. Worcestershire sauce.
The Worcestershire.
Yes.
Just throw in a little Worcester.
Right. Dave just said, smelled the Clynelish again, and it's still killer.
Let's do that.
Oh my gosh, you're right.
Uh-huh.
How different though. Whew.
Man, I wish I hadn't added water to this. Still got half the sample left somehow, so
There you go. They're
come
so
back to it.
different.
Mm.
I'm getting like a semolina bread now on the
Ooh,
Clynelish.
I gotcha.
Definitely baking spices on the Springer.
Mm. Like a milk chocolate. I'm getting yeah, so there's some dark fruit in there. Oh yeah, this is what I was referring to, where Signatory vintages oak cask for once is not ex-bourbon. I think this is
It's gotta be
pretty
sherry.
pretty obviously sherry, yeah.
Has to be.
This
Oh.
one they actually did indicate sherry cask.
Oh wow.
Oh really? Oh, okay, great.
Oh yeah, look at that. It does say matured sherry cask.
Yeah, from this era, they are notoriously tight-lipped. Either that, or they just didn't know or didn't care.
Right.
Hmm.
Dustin
Because I mean,
did say
back
cinnamon.
then there were not quite as many whiskey nerds as we got going on now.
True.
No. Oh yeah, Dave. I'm totally getting the clove all over the nose of it.
Yeah, and no industrial diesel either. Sorry, Russell. This is very clean.
Yeah, that's interesting. Like for me, the notes that I always get from Springbank are icing sugar and diesel exhaust.
I see. Oh.
Yeah, I get icing sugar on the nose, 1,000%.
Yeah.
It's very
Yeah,
clear.
I'm getting it a little bit. That's not usually something that I have associated with Springbank, but I am getting a little bit of it
There's a type of cupcake that my grandma used to make that it's called wacky cake. I don't know if that exists in Canada, but you typically use a sugar-based icing on it instead of like a cream cheese. And I'm
Mm.
totally getting that type of it's not quite chocolate. It's like a semi-sweet type of a chocolate with that icing on the nose. And then some red fruits cruising in. Wow.
So has everybody had a chance to go back and see that Clynelish again?
Yeah, I'm gonna do that right now. I'm gonna do a little palate cleanse first.
Yeah, you need it after this one. Eh? Oops.
Yeah, that Springer is hanging around. Much more waxiness, almost like a shortbread quality to the Clynelish too. That was the final bit of mine. A sour note now, not
Okay.
yeah, a sour quality followed by some citrus. Definitely ultra waxy still. Wow.
Mm.
I don't know how
Yeah,
to choose
good.
between these. It's
Because as we know, at some point, somebody's got to put on that belt.
it's almost criminal to have to face these two off together.
But it is our job, and we do it for science.
We have to.
So let's get to it.
Man, at first I was certain that the Clynelish was going to take it. Now I'm not so sure. Springbank, it had a better showing for me just now than it did the first time I tried it. Ooh.
I will say, seeing the results come in, it's looking very different than the lightweight match.
Mm.
Oh my god, I don't know how I'm gonna choose this. This is messed up. I just I had a second taste of the Clynelish. It wowed me again. I just had a second taste of the Springer after clearing the palate. I don't know what the hell I'm gonna do. Yeah,
Yeah,
and Joe,
it's a total process.
Joe sourced that Clynelish, so everybody give it up for Joe, because my goodness.
Well done. The results are rolling in. We've got 11 of 15.
Russell said, only answer, Royal Rum.
You're gonna get another. So wait, does that mean that Tim and I have to fight? Oh crap.
Yeah, basically.
No, that means we just blend the Clynelish and the Springbank together.
Oh, wow.
Mm.
Wow. Cage match, maybe.
I've got a tiny drip of the Springbank left. Somebody's got to do it.
I just,
In goes the Clynelish.
Come on, Adam, be a DGen for us, buddy.
I cannot believe how good these are.
12 of
done.
15 votes are in.
Whew. I'm nervous. I don't know why.
You get your
The
vote in,
combination
Tim?
of them is-
I did. I got it in this time.
Okay, I got 12 and 15. We'll give you 10 more seconds, and then we will announce who's putting on the belt tonight.
The combination of them, as you might expect, is very, very good.
It's one hell of a blend.
Yeah.
All right, so the results are in, and it is
Whoa.
Wow.
Clynelish sweep.
Damn.
Well, good
So
luck
it was
finding another one,
interesting
guys.
seeing these results coming in initially.
That's
The
crazy.
first three results was neck and neck. And then after that, Clynelish just totally pulled away.
Wow.
Sneaky Clynelish.
It's almost like they make good whiskey.
It's true.
Who'd have thought, you know? And
Dave
if you
just-
take it and put it in a barrel for 30 years, it turns out pretty well.
That's the lesson that we all should learn, for sure. Dave just said it's a total coin flip on these two, and I'm kind of right there with. I think the Clynelish for me just edged out a little bit more with some of those tropical fruit notes. But I can't even tell you how glad I am to have tasted these, so, and shared them with you all. It's big deal.
Yeah, big thanks to Russ and Joe and everybody who came together to put these four whiskeys together for us to be able to experience together, as well as everybody who donated whiskeys into the stocking stuffers. I mean, what a way to end the year.
Yeah. This is special stuff. Not all whiskey groups get to do this. In fact, the vast majority don't. You know, how lucky are we that we can get, 69 Springbanks and 30-year-old Clynelish? It's just so special. So special.
What was my comment on the group a couple of weeks ago? Like most whiskey groups, it's like, oh, we got the core range of Glenfiddich and some random travel retail bottle that we found.
Yeah.
Yeah, we kind of take things up a couple of notches here at New.WHISKYorder, and I certainly would like to tip my cap to Russell for making all of this happen.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Oh, I did say 69.
Unreal.
That's gonna haunt me for 20 years.
Ah, yes.
Don't worry, it won't be up on YouTube until tomorrow.
Oh, great.
Unreal.
Well, that is interesting. A Clynelish sweep of
You could even say
WhiskyMania
a tag
2.
team. A tag team, possibly.
Can you imagine that, Russ? I think that's going to be for WhiskyMania 3. We need to have some tag team matches.
Let's go.
That could be interesting.
That could be
Well,
wild.
there we have it. WhiskyMania II is in the books. It's a Clynelish sweep, taking both the lightweight and the heavyweight championship matches. Thanks to everybody who joined us tonight. Fantastic tasting, fantastic whiskeys. We're going to be sticking around for a while here to continue enjoying the whiskeys, but for now, I'm going to stop the recording. So good night, everybody.
Been a
Take
good
care.